Hi, my name is Samiyyah Ali, and I joined AOII in 2007, I guess, and I just finished working for Justice Sotomayor as a law clerk. And on Monday, I'm going to start at a law firm called Wilkinson, Walsh & Escovitz, and I'll be a trial lawyer there. So I went to Duke University for undergrad, and I majored in psychology, and I sort of had always wanted to go to law school, but I also really love people and working with people and talking to people, obviously. And so I ended up first pursuing my master's in higher education at Ohio State, and I worked a couple years in Greek life, actually, so I was supervising sorority fraternity life because I couldn't get enough of it from undergrad. And then after that got to be a bit much, I decided law school might be easier than sort of operating and helping manage Greek chapters. And so I went to law school down in Vanderbilt. And after that, I knew I always sort of wanted to be a trial lawyer and be sort of in the courts. And the best way to sort of learn how to do that is to work for the judges themselves. And so I was really fortunate to be able to work for 3 judges on the 3 different levels of federal court. And so I worked with a trial judge 1 year in Kentucky, an appellate judge in DC, and then on the Supreme Court with Justice Sotomayor. And I think in terms of success, if it's that, it's always been about sort of knowing who I am and what I wanted to do and the kind of work I wanted to do. And I always wanted to work with people, advocate for others, be around others, and just finding things that are really in tune with their values and making sure you always pick your careers based on that. And that's sort of how it led me from one step to another. So clerking for the Supreme Court is obviously really cool because they sort of get all the big cases that you hear about on TV and hear about in the news, but they also sort of get the boring legal cases that no one really thinks about, but that are very important still to the rights of everyone in this country. And the work there is very hard for the justices because by the time it gets to the Supreme Court, it's sort of gone through every other court that it could go through in the country, and so there's no specific right answer under the law. It's always something a little bit ambiguous or a little bit unprecedented. And so getting to see how they think through those problems and how they work together as a group of 9 different individuals from different value systems and different beliefs and different legal trainings, I think it was just a really cool experience for a young lawyer like us. And every justice has 4 clerks, and so for Justice Sotomayor, it was me and 3 other clerks, and our job basically is to get her ready to make the big decisions. So for us, that meant we sort of look through the cases that come through, and so at the Supreme Court, they get about 9,000 applications of cases every year, but they only take 70. And so part of our job is sort of reading those 9,000 and seeing which ones are the most worthy of their decision. And then once they pick their 70 or 80 cases for the year, we help them think through the problems, we help research all the issues to make sure that they are thinking about everything, and then we make a recommendation to them as to the important things to ask in oral argument, and what to put in their opinions and things like that. And so it is really, it's really the making of the sausage completely. They are long days, long hours. I spent most of my time at the court. My phone thinks that my home is the court when I put it in GPS. But it's only a year, and it's a really worthy cause. And Justice Sotomayor, I'm biased, but she's my favorite justice. But she is really sweet and really warm, and it was a dream to clerk for her because since she got on the bench in 2009, I just admired her for her authenticity and her story of making it through out of New York and into Princeton and on the bench. And I just really admired that in her, and seeing a woman of color in that position just meant a lot to me. And when you see someone like her, you know how hard she's worked to get there and how many experiences she's had to go through and how many relationships she's had to cultivate. And so to learn from that and to see someone as fearless as she is and get up every day for all 9 of them, it's really difficult because sometimes they lose cases, obviously, and they have to speak on that, but they're there for life, and so they lose all the time and have to keep going every day. And that's a type of fearlessness I had never experienced before, so it was just awesome to follow her around every day, which is what she would tell you that I did. I'm not sure that I inspire others per se, but I do think that something I talked about with my boss last year, Justice Sotomayor, I do think that I try to be myself when I'm with others, and the important thing for me to convey when I'm talking to younger students or students that are coming up or future lawyers, whoever they are, I try to just tell them to really dig deep inside themselves and know who they are and know what is important to them, know what drives them, and to bring that to every situation, and to also bring your own creativity. I think I'm in the field of law, and law is a very sort of conforming field. There's a lot of norms, and it's very professional and businessy, and I have a very sort of vibrant, comical personality, and people are like, I don't know how you fit every day in your suit, and I'm like, well, because my personality, I'm never afraid to bring my personality to a situation. It's when I interview for a job or when I go meet someone new, I always am exactly who I am, and so if they choose to hire me, they've chosen to hire me for who I am. I just think that everyone has a different perspective on life and the world that's really important for others to hear, and I think if you share that with others, you're not only sort of enriching yourself and being authentic, but you're also helping other people grow and helping other people learn about the world, and I think that's just how you make change. I grew up in a financial situation that was sort of lower socioeconomic, and since I've been through all these schoolings, and now that I'm finally in the legal profession, I'm able to sort of give back to my family and to sort of show them my appreciation in ways that help sort of uplift my entire family and not just me. And I think, that to me is sort of the ultimate goal that I've achieved, is being able to sort of bring my family together and show hey, look what we did. Because nothing that I've done is a product of just me. It's a product of the entire community, my family, my community, my sorority sisters, everyone. It's a product of all those things that help me grow and help me be who I am. And I think being in a position to show gratitude and give back to them and help them when they need help, especially at 31, I think it's just, that's what keeps me going and that's what makes me happy. Being an alumni member means being connected to a full network of diverse and kind sisters. I would say that I was probably more active as an alumni member than I was as a collegiate member, because when I went to Ohio State for grad school, I was the house mom for the AOII house. I was also working in Greek life, and I was also advising an AOII chapter. I think that's when it really sort of clicked for me what AOII was. I definitely enjoyed it at Duke, and I definitely loved that. But being able to be in a completely different institution, in a completely different state, with a completely different Panhellenic community on campus, just really the principles that we talked about as collegiate members all the time as AOIIs sort of really came into play, and really it's sort of a universal bond that sort of outlasts your years in college and outlasts you even, it's this legacy that goes on. I think if you're just about to graduate and you're going out into the world, from an AOII standpoint, remember your sisters and lean on them. Reach out to the new ones. Try to meet as many as you can across the world, wherever you're going. It is just so nice to have something that is anchoring you as you sort of go out into the world, because you're going to get new jobs and make new friends and move new places, and those things are going to be hard in moments and they're going to be great in moments, but knowing that you have sort of a community of people that you've already built, that you've already become friends with, that you've already cried with, just knowing that you have those people is just really anchoring and really grounding, and will help you sort of remember who you are. It's never too late to reconnect. So even if you lose touch with people in the first couple of years, or lose touch with your sisters, or whatever it is, we're always here, and you can always come back. Inspire ambition means to sort of wear your drive on your sleeve. It means to sort of take everything that you have and everything that you are capable of contributing to the world, and wearing that out loud and sort of living that in a way that makes others comfortable living that too. Everyone's sort of out there and being their best selves and going after exactly what they want to do and trying to make the world a better place, then everyone will come with you. That sort of fever, I think, is contagious, and I just think that it is sort of a personal mantra that can become sort of a group mentality and just really make great things.